Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is a Mike November Whiskey coming to you from Townsville International in the northeastern regions of Australia. Tonight, as you may have already noticed, we are not in the Qantas 9084 livery that we've been flying throughout our Australian journey. Tonight, for this final flight, I thought I would pay homage to the many pilots that we encountered along the way as we explored Australia, who were all flying Jetstar airplanes. I believe it is a Qantas-owned budget, low-cost airline in Australia, although I may have that wrong and I don't really know much more about it, but the livery is lovely, and I thought for our final flight out of the country we should give it a shot. So our call sign tonight will be Jetstar 9084. And our destination, as you may have already guessed, is not in Australia. We are heading to, where are we going to? We're going to Alpha Yankee Papa Yankee, which is Jackson's Port Moresby Airport, which I believe is Indonesia. I should have done more research before logging on tonight. But let's take a look on our charts here and take a look where Jackson Moresby is. So here it is, and we'll just pull up a chart which should tell us what country we're flying to. So if ever in doubt, you can go ahead and pull up the chart. Well, is that true? It might not be true. It might not actually tell us what country this is in. So when in double doubt, resort to Google. So Jackson's Moresby, excuse me. It is in, oh my goodness, just tell me where it is. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea. Yes. We'll be hitting Indonesia again before long, but tonight we're going to Papua New Guinea. And since it's a bit of a longer flight, it'll be almost 2 hours in the air, I think we'll have an opportunity to actually learn more about where we're going, which would be nice. To catch you up, we have been flying around the world 2 hours at a time in the fly-by-wire A320neo. I am flying the latest experimental build tonight, which have all the latest bells and whistles that the fly-by-wire team have been working on. And we started our journey in Newark, New Jersey, and made our way through Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Europe, Northeast Africa, Middle East, India, Southeast Asia, on our way to Australia to explore all the glory of World Update 7, which you can kind of see some of the fruits of around here. The terrain scenery has just been absolutely stunning. Here at Townsville Airport, we are using freeware scenery for the Townsville Airport, which is available on flightsim.to, and you see some of the custom buildings there. This is a dual-use airport for both the military as well as civilian use, and we are here at bay number 2 at the civilian terminal. So I think that's all of the preamble. We are on VATSIM tonight, although we don't have coverage, AT's coverage where we are, although Melbourne Centre just came online about 10 minutes ago, because of course it is approaching midday Friday there in Australia. So maybe we'll get some center coverage if they come online this far north. Otherwise, it will be a nice quiet flight where we'll just get to enjoy the sweet tones of my own voice and no one else's. I do have the latest AIG traffic model matching file installed. I spent quite a bit of time this past weekend downloading every single AIG livery available through the AI Manager, and created a VMR file that is fully complete. Not a single entry was left blank. I used the help of some regex scripts to help me automate the process, but the file is like 60 megs and has over 90,000 rules. I put that on flightsim.to. Just go ahead and search for Mike November Whiskey, and you should find the VMR file. It's titled something like the Ultimate AIG Traffic VMR or something like that. But it's by the one I created is written by Mike November Whiskey, and that's how you know that's the one that I put up there. Folks seem to have been really enjoying it. It's received about 150 downloads, been getting some pretty good reviews so far, and if that continues and people get value from it, I'll make sure to update it probably once a month on the first of the month, which means that the next update will come right in time for Cross the Pond, westbound, which I believe is April 2nd this year. And if you don't know much about that that event, we'll look it up. Otherwise, we can talk about it once we're in the air. So I think that is enough preamble. It looks like baggage and catering are all done. So let's hop in the cockpit and get this beautiful A320 powered up. So as you can see, we are cold and dark. So first and foremost, let's get those batteries online. And we have external power available. Get that rolling. And I'll go ahead and activate my camera so y'all can see me. Hi guys, here I am. Make it a bit more interactive. Alright, so external power is on. Let's go through our initial flows so the nav and logo lights come on to let folks know that we're here. Look at some integrated lighting on so we could see these button labels a bit better. And get the crew supply on, the ground control on, and start aligning our IRSs. So that will take a few minutes. Let's do our fire tests. APU. Engine. And engine 2. And if you check the ECAM, you'll see the emergency messages show up when I'm pressing the button, which is pretty sweet. And cargo smoke. Very cool. So let's get our no smoking lights into auto and emergency exit lights armed. We'll leave seatbelt signs off for now and fuel pumps off because we're going to refuel, and we don't want people stuck in their seats with their seatbelts on if they need to get off the plane pretty quick if there is an issue with refueling. So the overhead panel looks pretty good for now. Oh, actually no. Let's start the APU so we can actually get boarding going. 1, 2, and 3. Get the APU start process going. And while that's firing up, we'll get the rest of our displays set to our liking. But once the APU is running, we'll get the APU bleed on, and then we can start boarding, which is the longest part of this whole process since I have it set on realistic mode. We're moving to QNH, hectopascals, set constraints on, and we'll set up the rest of the autopilot when we brief our departure. But for now, we'll just get some of these lights up. And we'll turn that co-pilot flight director and the co-pilot displays off, because I do think it eats some GPU power by leaving them on. Alright, coming down here, make sure everything looks good. We'll get the brightness up on these panels a bit so we can see it better. Clock looks correct, it's about 20 to 3 Zulu. Landing gear is showing down, anti-skid is on, gear lever is down. APU is available, so go ahead and get the APU bleed on to power our air conditioning, our packs. And now that that's running, we can give the go-ahead to start boarding. So let's come here to our weights and balance menu. See how many folks we have on board tonight. 102. Oh, less than before. I think we had 160 coming to Townsville last time. Go ahead, boarding starts. And that is underway. So going back to our initial flows here. Cockpit oxygen pressure is good. Oil quantity looks great. Hydraulic fluid is nice and full. Alright, moving down the panel here, we are on Unicom right now because we don't have ATC coverage at the moment. Our throttle levers are in the idle position. ATC is on standby, TCAS is on standby. We'll go ahead and pump in 7,000 for now, which will squawk until we get assigned one by ATC if they come online. Engine masters are off, engine mode is set to normal. Weather system and predictive wind shear system are both in the off position. Get some integrated lights on these panels here. Coming further down, spoilers are retracted and disarmed, flaps are up, rudder trim is 0, the door is open, parking brake is set. That looks great. We got about 3 more minutes for the IRSs. So while those IRSs continue to align, let's get our METAR information, since we don't have ATIS available where we are. Looking at our current location of Townsville, this report is from 2 Zulu, so it is fairly recent. We have winds 360 at 8 knots, so that will dictate what runway we take. Good visibility, no clouds detected, 35 degrees. And if we look outside, I mean, there are clouds, but not above the sensor, so that looks pretty good to me. QNH is 1004, so we'll just go ahead and set that and forget it. 1004. Fantastic. Destination, also recent weather. Winds are bit higher, but not too bad. Good visibility, few clouds at 5,000, scattered at 10,000, nice and warm, and QNH 1009. We'll check that as we get closer because we'll get update information on the way. Let's look at the operating flight plan. So, yes, we are in Townsville, and yes, we are headed to Alpha Yankee Papa Yankee, which is a fun code to say. That is the port Moresby Airport in Papua New Guinea, as we recently learned. We're flying the fly-by-wire A320neo with a LEAP 1 Alpha 26 engines. Our alternate is Townsville, since we're going to be over water the entire time, and this really is the best alternate if we need a about face and turn around. We are Jetstar 984, that's fun to say. Cost index 15, flight level 380 at cruise. Triple pause is very high, and we have a light tailwind of 9 knots. But yeah, but it looks like our time in the air will be just under an hour and a half, so that's not too bad at all. Alright, let's look at fuel. Oh, finally, shear rate 1, so not expecting too much in terms of turbulence. So this has us departing runway 1, although the winds are out of 360, so we probably won't want runway 1. Wait. No, we do want runway 1. Excuse me. Because the degrees reset. Oh, goodness. So it will be a northward departure. I'm just going to put in our chart information here. I've been having issues with the Navigraph add-in. It isn't remembering my chart preferences, but just confirm here this is runway 1. That is the longest runway, so that is fine by the flight plan, so we'll plan for that. Alright, going back to the OFP, and now if I go back, will it forget it? It will forget it. That's annoying. Alright, so we'll just do our best to deal with that. Oh, Houston Center is doing his rating tonight. That's fun. So any of you guys are flying in the United States, go check that out. Ivan! Hello, sir. Sorry if you've been waiting there a while. I just looked over at the chat now. I am on the experimental version. Always the experimental version. I love flirting with the danger of crash a desktop. Alright, looking at fuel. So trip and alternate fuel looks about the same because we have a little bit of a tailwind going there, and assuming a headwind coming back, so that translates into about 100 additional 1,000 kilograms of fuel. For a total block of 8345, the weather looks fine, so that's what we'll take. So we'll go ahead and get a 8345 requested. Take about 7 minutes to refuel. And I think that's good. We are flying the Swift 1 departure. So let's go ahead and take a look at our charts. I'm going to have to keep this thing minimized when we're not looking at it so the charts don't unpin. It's a really annoying bug since the latest sim update, so hopefully the Navigraph guys are working on it. Alright, so get this airport information chart up. We'll use this to program our flex takeoff. But our star, I've already forgotten what it was called. Let's see if we recognize it. No, sorry, not star, SID, excuse me. Swift 1, I believe that was it. Swift 1 departure. Does that resonate? Yes, it does. So taking a quick look at Swift 1, and we're taking off runway 1. So it looks like direct to Avmat. And we'll want to be at 8,000 or above. Oh, no, sorry. That's for runway 1 and only. We'll want to be at 4,000 above, which makes more sense because it's less time to climb. And then we'll want to be at 8,000 or below at Adnod. So we'll go ahead and put our initial climb out to 8,000 then. And there is a speed restriction for runway 1 departure of 230 knots, probably because we're merging maybe with this route. I'm not exactly sure why we would have that restriction, but we'll just make sure that's programmed in the box so we don't exceed 230 knots until we're allowed to. And then after Adnod, on our way to Swift, and then we're on our way to Papua New Guinea. Alright, so minimizing that, getting that out of the way so we don't lose those charts, and just coming up here and programming 8,000 feet for the initial climb out. Alright, what is next? And take one more look at the METAR. Here at the destination, looking at the prediction. So between the 3rd 1800 and 4th 18... Actually, what? Today is the 3rd, right? Yeah, today is the 3rd. So we're in March 4th Zulu. And just looking at this prediction here. So light showers and rain in the vicinity predicted after 3 Zulu. Probability 30%. Thunder showers, heavy thunder showers and rain coming thereafter. Between 4 and 9 Zulu. So, yeah, it might be raining when we get there. We'll see. But good to know. Alright, alright, alright. So we are almost done with boarding, which is fantastic. So we'll go ahead and get the box set up. Iris is all showing nav, GPS primary, so we do have those systems online. We have the right engines, we have the latest AirX cycle, that's all well and good. Going to init. Tonight I'm feeling, what's the opposite of lazy? I guess motivated? I am going to program this manually, just to get practice. But we'll of course refer to our flight plan as it's listed here. So we are going from, I'll just clean this up a little bit. There we go, that works. We are going from Yankee Bravo Tango Lima, and we're going to, oop, that voice always freaks me out. It's the new sound pack from the fly-by-wire team. We're going to Alpha Yankee Papa Yankee. Get that in there. And our flight number is Juliet Sierra Tango 9084. Our alternate is Yankee Bravo Tango
Ladies and gentlemen,
Lima.
from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and
Cost
cabin
index
crew, I'd like to take
15.
this time to welcome you aboard our flight.
Cruise
We're
is
just wrapping up some
380.
paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew.
Nice
then
and
we'll
cold
be
up
on
there.
our way.
And triple pause is
We'll
way
be coming
higher
to
than
the
that,
cabin
so let's
shortly with
see.
a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask.
55308. Init A completes. Going to our flight plan. So we'll get the waypoints in, and then we'll get our departure in. So we'll do Swallow, because Swift should be a part of the SID. This one, 88 nautical miles, that looks like the right one. And then Ekoku, it's a fun one. And then Benki. Although, wait a minute, let me actually, I might be cheating here. Yeah, I am. We just need the VIA, we just need the route, Romeo 346 to Marbo. So, we're actually making it harder on ourselves. So let's do this. Let's do our departure. We know we're doing the Swift one from runway 1. There you are. Inserts. And then from Swift, Airways via Romeo 346. To Marbo. And that should be all we need. Everything else should kind of fall in line. To Marbo. Airway waypoint mismatch. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, Mabro. Mabro's because I can't spell. Or can't read. One of the two. There we go. There we go. And now we can check it. So we have the SID. It'll pull up here again. So we have AG0 overfly to AVMAT, to ADNOD, to SWIFT, to Swallow, to Ikoku, and we could confirm this here. Ikoku, Benki, TOSAS, decel point, Mavro, and then direct runway 32 right. We'll just get rid of this discontinuity, and we'll worry about the actual approach once we're in the air, because we'll want to check to make sure that we're optimizing for weather, because it looks like it will change. But that looks great, and just to make sure it looks good on the ND, we'll go ahead and check this. I guess we'll do it backwards. So from Mavro, TOSAS, Benki, Ikoku, Swallow, nice and straight, Swift. Then here comes our SID, ADNOD with the restrictions, AVMAT, AG0, and here we are. Great. All looks good. Alrighty, so rad navs. I don't think we'll need any. I didn't see any on the SID, but we'll do one last check. I'm not seeing any VORs or ADFs, so that's fine. I'm not going to worry about emergency procedures tonight because it's already pretty late. Okay, fuel prediction we don't have yet. So in it B, weights and balance. 53.1 tons for our zero fuel weight. We'll just make sure that jives 53.1. It does, so we'll lock that in. And our block fuel, we are done refueling, so 8.3 is our block fuel tonight. And while I'm thinking about it, now that we know fueling is done, I'll just get those fuel pumps on and get the seatbelt sign on since we're done refueling. Alright, so let's get the rest of our fuel information in. We have contingency of 0.5, alternate of 3.4, and final reserve of 1. So 0.5, 3.4, and 1. And that gives us 4 minutes of extra fuel. It's a little tight per the plan, but I think that should be fine. We really will only need all of this fuel if we need to turn back once we get to Port Moresby, which is highly unlikely. Alright, so Init B is complete. Finally, performance. And I didn't do the performance calculation ahead of time, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm not sure if I like this. Well, I guess it's less intrusive than the in-game one. Just hopefully doesn't cause performance issues. Alright, so what were we doing? We were doing performance, so I need to look at the runways. So the heading is 17. What did we say the weather was? 10 at 8. And outside air temperature is 36, nice and hot. QNH is 1004. Runway conditions are dry. Elevation of the runway is, let's call it 16 feet, or 15 feet rather. Length of the runway is rather short, 2438. And that's in meters, yes. And takeoff weight in tons is 61 tons, so a bit lighter. Flex thrusts, packs are off, and center of gravity, we can take a look now at the fuel prediction page, 24.5, which gives us a trim value of 0.9 up. So we can do a flex, although our V-speeds are pretty low, and I'm guessing that's because the runway is a bit shorter. So let's get all that plugged in. Actually, I'm going to X out of that. Yeah, bring it back in the sim. I think that's performing better. All right, so flaps are configuration 1, up 0.9. Flex to temp is 67 degrees per the calculator. Engine out acceleration altitude and thrust reduction acceleration altitude all make sense because we're just about at sea level, and these are 1,500 feet above where we are on the ground. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet. And V speeds. V1, decision speed is 138, rotation speed is 139, and single engine is 140. And that is all good. So, while we're here, just want to go to the next phase, the climb phase. We want to pre-select a speed of 230 knots so we don't exceed the speed restriction. So that looks good. All right. Box setup is complete. Looking at our taxi situation, we're at the civil apron, and for wide-bodied aircraft, we can go via Alpha 1. Alpha 1, Alpha 2, and Kilo. So yeah, we'll go via Kilo, Alpha 2, Alpha 1, and then just roll to takeoff. So nice short taxi tonight. All right. So let's go ahead and get the tug linked up. We'll do some checklists.
This is ground. Stand by.
Taking their time over there.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
All right. Checklists. Before start, checklist to the line. Cockpit prep is complete. Fuel message sent. Gear pins and covers are removed. Signs are on or auto. IRS is our nav. Fuel quantity is set at 8.3 kilograms. 8,300 kilograms. Takeoff data is set. Bower ref is set. Before start, checklist to the line. Townsville traffic at Jetstar 9084 at Bay 2, pushing back and starting our engines. Townsville traffic. So, before start checklist, below the line windows and doors are closed. Beacon is coming on. Thrust levers are on idle. Parking brake is as required. And before start checklist is complete. So, let's go ahead and get this show on the road.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake released.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, we are running the timer, and we are in mode ignition, engine 2 start, and we'll start the chrono. This will be a nice short taxi. Nice short pushback, rather. So Ivan, if you're still there, have you been flying the fly-by-wire as well? terrible pushback. Apologies for anyone who has to watch this. Alright, whatever. It's good enough.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Engine 1 start, resetting the chrono.
Be sure to put your mask on first before helping others, and we'll let you know when it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure you're ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened. Your seat back is upright, your tray table is stowed, and all stand items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask. Smoking, twin-cheese, electronic cigarettes is never allowed on any flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors and access questions is a federal offense and could result in a fine. For your convenience, this aircraft has...
So see that how the frames do tonight. This livery, for whatever reason, is 2 gigabytes. It's huge. I'm only getting 31 frames per second right now, which is not terrible for being on the ground with custom scenery, but I wonder if a 2 gigabyte livery file is also causing problems. Alright, 2 good engine starts. Engine move back to normal. We'll get ready for taxi. We'll get the APU bleed off and the APU off since we're running on engine power. And we will get our taxi lights on. And we'll do our after start checklist. So after start, anti-ice is not required. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim is not set. Do that now. Flight control page, we're doing up 0.9. And rudder trim is confirmed set to 0. We'll do our flight control tests right now. Full left, oh, after start checklist complete. Full right, full down, full up, rudder disconnect, full left, full right, and neutral. Great. Alright, what else? Let's get our ATC to stand by. We'll start squawking in auto and make our call. Townsville traffic, Jetstar 9084 is taxiing to runway 1, Townsville traffic. Parking brake is off. Let's set our flaps to configuration 1. Spoilers are armed. And let's roll. Got my hand on this Thrustmaster T16000 right here, our tiller. That'll help us make these wider turns. That'll be nice and smooth with it. That's taxiway Kilo. We don't want Kilo. We want to go down Alpha 2. Sorry, we are in Kilo, but we want to go down Alpha 2. 'Cause that's for the wide-bodied aircraft. We'll want to slow down our ground speed to below 10 knots to execute this turn. And when that line comes into the front portion of our glass, we want to execute the turn there. Watch our speed. We don't want to do it so dramatically that we lose all of our airspeed. But, sorry, all of our ground speed. But there we go. That was nice. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty bang on. And now we'll just roll using... Sometimes my Thrustmaster does not want to cooperate. But now we'll roll just on rudder control. Keep us on center line to Alpha 1, where we will enter the runway. So we'll set our auto brake to max for an aborted takeoff. We'll ping the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Do our config test. Get our weather system, predictive wind shear system on. Alright, here we go. Approaching Alpha 1. slow down for the turn. And execute. Lots of ground vehicles here. That could be causing some of the frame rate, and I wouldn't call it issues, but just lack of available frames, I guess. Alright, slowing down again. So we're going to line up on this runway. And turn. Alright, we'll line up a little bit. We'll do our before takeoff checklist real quick. Okay, that's good. We'll start squawking. We'll get TCAS on. And we'll get our landing lights. And get our all of our lights on, and get the strobes to on at this point. Alright, before takeoff checklist, flight instrument controls are checked, flight instruments are checked, briefing is confirmed, flap settings are confirmed, V-speed settings are set, ATC is set, ECAM memo, no blue. Before takeoff below the line. Takeoff runway is confirmed, cabin crew is advised, TCAS, TARA, engine mode is on normal, packs are coming off for our flex takeoff. Before takeoff checklist complete. Townsville traffic, Jetstar 9084, taking off, runway 1. Townsville traffic. Takeoff. Thrust to 50%. Stable. Man flex SRS runway, speed selected 230 knots. Knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Gonna hand fly this out for a little bit. Peek out the window. So long, Australia. You were gorgeous. Alright, going to thrust climb, climb. Starting to accelerate up. Spoilers disarmed. Put those packs back on. Turn. Speed checked, flaps up. Get those nose lights off. Alright, approaching our speed restriction of 230 knots. Level out. Still hand flying for a little bit, because you know what, it feels good. Feels good. After takeoff checklist, landing gears up, flaps are retracted, packs are on, bow ref is set. After takeoff checklist complete. Start our turn. Speed Alt Star. We'll engage the autopilot at this point. Autopilot 1. Now that we're approaching our initial climb out, taking a look at that chart, which we will have lost now because it just resets every time, which is really annoying. But get our SID here, Swift 1. And we're past AvMat, so I think we can cancel that speed restriction. Actually, no, I can't do that. I'll just go into manage speed mode. That's easy enough. So speed up. And, oh, I should have closed the friggin' thing. I just want to see when we can clear ourselves up to cruise. It should be after the next checklist, after the next waypoint, excuse me. SID, Swift 1. Yeah, after AdNod, we'll clear ourselves to cruise. That's a 380 flight level. Thrust climb, open climb. And we'll go to standard QNH at this point. Airport. And get some range on here so we can see where we're going. Alright guys, we're on our way. On our way. Everything looks as it should. We'll just close the... We'll pretend that that door is locked this whole time. This was not a security risk. And there we go. Australia being left behind in our rear view mirror. All of its glory. Beautiful ocean below. All day, every day, low fares. So see, there's the evidence. It is a low-cost airline. I love when they have the black visor on the liveries. I think that just looks so cool. Looks so good. All day, every day. It must be at 10,000 feet the way it's bobbing like that. Yep, so 10,000 feet checks. Let's get our landing lights off. And all set. The reason why it pitches down at 10,000 feet is that at 10,000 feet the 250 knot speed restriction goes away. As you see, we are now at 290 knots indicated airspeed as we continue to climb. And at this point, I'll go ahead and ping the cabin. You can now use your laptops and personal devices. There will be no Wi-Fi on this flight, because we're flying over the ocean. It really is way more low-key without air traffic control online. I mean, ATC is so much fun. I friggin' love VATSIM. But you know, after a long day of work and you just want to relax for a little bit, man, this is just... This is nice. This is nice. Wow, while I was in pre-flight, I missed a bunch of texts making plans with me and my kids and another family from school on Saturday. How fun is that? Alright. We're going to the playground, people. Oh, and my parents just watched Coda. Fantastic film. Fantastic film. It was so good. As a father myself, the scenes between the father and the daughter just absolutely broke me. Oh my god. Excuse me. Delicious. Thursday nights are a terrible night to stream. No one's on VATSIM, no one is on Twitch. Yeah, no controllers in range. Let's check. Check SimAware. We are the only... Oh, wait. There's a plane in pre-flight at Port Moresby. Where are they going? Oh, they're already airborne, so they've just left. Ah, shame. But they're going to the west side of Papua New Guinea. So what is that? Is that Indonesia? Or is that Timor? That might be East Timor, actually. I'm starting to get flashbacks from geopolitical concerns of the 90s. Oh, no. East Timor is an island further west, not attached to Papua New Guinea. The other side is, it is in Indonesia. It's a province, Papua, province of Indonesia. It's the easternmost province, which encompasses the western half of New Guinea and several other islands. So they are heading to an airport in Papua in a Boeing 737-800, if I'm reading the code correctly. But yes, that doesn't help us with ATC coverage. There is coverage north in Guam. Looks like Melbourne Center went offline, but now Melbourne Tower is online. As well as... Melbourne Tower and Sydney Tower both online. With no center control. And... a Kia control over New Zealand is online as well. So, who knows? We may get lucky. I'm not sure if we're going to get coverage, it's going to be in the early part of the flight. So let's see. Take a look at Twitch. Let's see who's flying tonight, fellow streamers. So Shade is online. He's a pretty cool streamer. He does ATC Boston Center. Yeah, but otherwise relatively quiet. About 300 viewers online in total, though lots of people streaming. I love this stream. The name of the stream. I am by no means an expert pilot. Well, I have pretty good placement on this page. I'm the end of the third row. I am the highest ranked single viewer stream on Twitch right now. How fun. How fun. I wonder how I earned that distinction. Maybe because I have the most followers? Because I think I have like 7 followers now, which is awesome. Really appreciate the love that the diehards have been showing me on this channel. I've been watching a lot of Elden Ring on Twitch lately, which is a game I'm kind of itching to try out. I've never played a Souls game. Ooh, I'm playing with a trim. Hold on. Just make sure I didn't bump anything. Oh, it's on automatic anyway. Won't let me change it. Yeah, I never played a Souls game. I've always been kind of terrified about the fact that it's so damn hard. But this one, I mean, people are just calling it like the greatest game of all time. And I want to play it, I want to stream it, but I'm committed to this round the world journey. And we are on leg 32, and I'll tell you how many are left. 24. We have 24 more flights before we get back to Newark, New Jersey. So still got a ways to go. But you know what? We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. And then when I get back to Newark, I'll take a break. I'll stream Elden Ring for a little bit, and then before long, I'm sure I'll get the flight itch again, and we'll be back. We'll be back in the sim. Although, let's see. I started this journey in November, so it's been like 4 months. So let's say like another 3 months. And of course, Cross the Pond is right in the middle of that. So I did say in the beginning I would talk about Cross the Pond a little bit. So Cross the Pond is a VATSIM event that happens twice a year. There's an eastbound event in the fall and a westbound event in the spring. So westbound is coming up. And what Cross the Pond is, as it kind of sounds like, is an event where pilots get together and ATC gets together to provide coverage on oceanic flight routes between Europe and North America. And it's a big event. I think 1,000 pilots or so participate. It's a long event because, of course, crossing the Atlantic on a full flight, you're talking between like 6, maybe 12 hours, depending on the routing. So it can get pretty intense. But you have you have guaranteed ATC coverage for I think about 12 hours. And at all levels. So you get delivery, you get ground, tower, departure, center, and then of course the oceanic centers. And you have to go through oceanic procedures, getting your clearances. It's a whole different thing. But apparently a lot of fun. I've yet to do it myself, but I'm planning to do this next one. It's coming up on April 2nd. They just announced the departure and arrival airports. You can check out VATSIM.net, I think, or the Cross the Pond Twitter account, or their Discord. That's where they're posting all the information. Sign-ups should be coming out soon. I think they're doing it via a lottery system, just to make it equitable, to kind of choosing your routes. And because again I have kids and a life on the weekends, I'm planning to do a super early flight, probably getting up well before the family gets up. And trying to get one of the shorter legs so I can wrap up relatively early East Coast time. But I plan to stream the whole thing. So that should be a ton of fun. And it will be great to have, so much ATC coverage as well as just being able to fly with a ton of other pilots kind of doing the same thing. So that'll be a good time. Cross the pond. We're crossing a puddle right now, by comparison. So Australia is over to our left, and it will start getting further and further and further away as we make our way north. It's like little islands here. It's so pretty. If those are islands. I'm not familiar with where the Great Barrier Reef actually is, so let's see if I can find it on a map. Oh, wow, that is, friends, that is the Great Barrier Reef. Goodness. Try to get a proper map of it. This is a lovely and pleasant surprise. Yes. We're looking at the Great Barrier Reef. It runs up and down to the northeast coast of Australia. Actually, let's get a shot from inside. Which camera is it? Very nice. Very nice. This is the joy of flight simming. You have to discover little nuggets like this. Alright, let's get back in the cockpit. Almost at our cruise altitude of 38,000 feet. We'll be there in about 2.5 minutes. And then once we're at cruise, we'll do a quasi descent prep, figure out where our descent point actually is, and then we'll relax for a bit. We got some time. Blah. What? There's this channel with a pilot with no mic, and he has 3 viewers. I'm sitting here by myself. I never said the world was fair. Oh wow, actually some of these screenshots are pretty cool. Oh god, there's this one streamer who his thumbnail is the download screen of the latest update. And he has 2 viewers. I'm actually flying a plane. Got nothing. Oh man. It's all good though, I fly for myself. And if anyone else joins me and gets pleasure from it, well, power to them. So another controller on Melbourne Center just came online. Of course, miles away from us. Not even showing up on our VATSIM client. But we'll see. We'll see if we get lucky. Alright, here we are just about at cruise altitude. Mach Alt Star. Alt Cruise. Welcome to your cruise altitude, everybody. Alright. So let's do some quasi approach prep. Let's first just double check our runway. We're expecting runway 32 right. Does that jive with the weather? Well, a bit of a crosswind, but there may be no avoiding it depending on the runways available. So let's pull up a...
Once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As we begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Let's check out the airport info plates. Yeah, so it's just 2 runways, 3-2 right, and if the winds are at a 260, well, at a 260, that is pretty much a direct crosswind. Let me do the math here. Like 320 minus 90 is 230. So 260 gives us a bit more of a headwind component, so yeah. Am I doing that right? 320. 230 is 90 degrees, and then 260. Yeah. Bit of a headwind component. So yes, 3-2 right is the right runway to be expecting. There are stars. There are stars, and that's not a part of our flight plan. So if we look at our map here, and let's look at the arrivals. For runway 32 right. So a couple options. From this waypoint we can track to Lot GUI 1, or Lot GU 1, or UNSAM 1. I think Lot GU 1 makes more sense. A bit shorter and gives us more of a straight in. So let's plan for the Lot GU 1 arrival. We won't put it in yet, we'll just wait to see if the weather changes there. Oh, cumulonimbus to north and east. Good to know. Yeah, there might be some weather coming in. Alright, so knowing that, let's add that to the route. And let's get the chart. Let's get the charts. I guess we'll do the overlay. Why not? Let's get the chart. Looking for altitude restrictions. I'm seeing none. So from Laku, track 346 to Ugotu, track 346 to Sarb, turn left, track to 323 to Zalak. Runway 32 right approach. I mean, I guess it wants me to be at 6,000 at this point. And then 4,000 by Sarab, 2,900 by Islak. Alright, so let's just say 6,000 by Laku. So let's figure out when we need to descend. So current altitude, we want to get to 6,000. 100 nautical miles. And we want to do that by Latgu. So let's go to Ikoku, not allowed to nav. What am I doing? Fix info. Latgu. And we want to put in a radius of 100 miles. And shouldn't be able to, oh no, we can see it. Okay, so yes, there's our top of descent. So when we crest that blue circle, we are 100 miles from Laku. That's how long it will take us to get down to 6,000 feet from 38,000 feet. And yeah, that is our top of descent, friends. 240 miles away. So by the math, call it half an hour, based on the current ground speed. Fun. So let's see, when are we expected to arrive? At about half past the hour. Oh man, so we actually don't have, this is going to be a shorter cruise than I thought. So at 3:50 Zulu, we'll begin our descent prep. We'll get our initial weather at that point, but we'll probably want to check weather again after the hour. Get the latest information, and they may be updating it on the half hour. We'll see, depending on the weather in the area. So things to look out for. Things to look out for. Look out for. Yeah, this is the report at 3 Zulu. Good visibility still, moderate winds, scattered clouds at 3,500, nice and warm, but cumulonimbus to the north and east, and that might be moving in. So keep an eye out. Cumulonimbus, those are the thunderstorm clouds, or potential thunderstorm clouds. Alright, let's see how our window view is doing. Can we still see the reef? Can we still see land? You can kind of see land out there in the distance, but I think we might be... the reef is disappearing to the west there. It's just us. Just us and sky and ocean, friends. Contrails, look at that. Look at that. You know, that reminds me. Ooh. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't even notice the underside of this livery. Let the world know on the ground who this is. Very nice. Now I understand why this is 2 gigabytes. Oh, look at that detail. Can I zoom in more? I want to read that. That looks so crisp. Come on. Alright, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with the drone cam. Alright. And because the perspective is locked to the plane, which is great, let's get nice and let's rotate up. Oh my god, we're going to read this shit. Oh my god. Before supplying external air, ensure that at least one window or passenger door is open and remains open during servicing. Air condition access there. Electrical service panel. I mean, the resolution is just bonkers. Bonkers. What else? What else? Give me more instructions on the underside of the plane. No tow. Rotate here. There's some other panels here. But no written information there or warnings. But that's pretty cool. They have that for the air conditioning system there. Do you have anything about the fuel? Where is the fuel access, by the way? It's not top. If you're just joining us, we are checking out the amazing detail on this Jetstar livery. I was complaining that it was 2 gigabytes in size. When you get up close and personal with it, you realize why. It's got every friggin' detail on this thing. Those reflection effects are gorgeous too. Our landing lights nice and retracted there. Very cool stuff. Oh yes, dangerous for humans. don't get close. Oh, interesting. What is this? I wonder what that sensor is. It must be a sensor of some kind. You go inside the engine? Whoa, that's trippy. It's like being inside John Malkovich's head. Dude. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to get a nice vantage point. We're going to learn a bit more about where we're going tonight. So we just left Townsville Airport in the north of Australia. We got a beautiful view of the coral reef, the Great Barrier Reef on the way out. And now we're just in open ocean as we're making our way up to Papua New Guinea. So looking at Port Moresby International Airport, Alpha Yankee Papa Yankee, also known as Jackson International Airport, is about 8 kilometers outside Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea, and is the largest and busiest airport in Papua New Guinea, with 1.4 million passengers per year, and is the main hub for Air New Guinea, which I think is the airline. Yes, we're going to be flying the New Guinea livery on our next flight when we leave Papua New Guinea for Indonesia, so that'll be fun. I forgot what that livery looks like. Let's see, what else can we learn here? Used to have an airship strip when airships were a thing. And Air New Guinea, Fiji Link, Philippine Airlines, PNG Air, Qantas, and Qantas Link all serve this airport. Jetstar does not. So I can't claim to be flying a realistic airline route because Jetstar does not service. I think Jetstar is a domestic airline anyway, so it's not like they would go beyond Australia's borders, but I wanted to fly the Jetstar at least once before we left Australia, so here we are. Alright, so let's look a bit more about Papua New Guinea. Actually, I know nothing about Papua New Guinea. We were learning about it in grade school, but I don't remember the context. Let's see. So Port Moresby is the capital, so we're flying into the capital tonight. It's the third largest island country. Huh. This is a great line. So at the national level, after being ruled by 3 external powers since 1884, Papua New Guinea established its sovereignty in 1975. This followed nearly 60 years of Australian administration, which started during World War... Oh, wait a minute. I read that wrong. I definitely read that as Australian domination. That would have been hilarious, but no, sorry. It's an Australian administration, which is far more tame. "851 known languages are spoken in Papua New Guinea." That's bonkers. Huh. 8 million people. Very fun. This is the thing, as we've been doing this around the world journey and when we learn about all these places we're flying to, it just makes me want to travel. I just want to go to all these places. I just want to experience all these cultures at least once in my life, because it's just like... It's unbelievable just how different cultures have evolved depending on where they are, and it's awesome. Alright, should we check out how we're doing inside our cockpit? Alright, let's do some systems checks, make sure everything looks good. Engine parameters look good. Use about 2,000 kilograms of fuel. Getting air from the engines. Cabin pressure is equivalent to 7,650 feet. The engine generators are charging the batteries and powering the aircraft. Hydraulic system looks good. Looking good on fuel. Burning about 30 kilograms per minute. That's insane to think about. That's not nothing. APU is of course off. Air conditioning, nice and comfy. 24 degrees. Doors are closed, thank God. Wheels are up. Flight controls all in the green. We got this nice cruise summary up. I love this page. Very useful. Alright, so how are we doing? Probably another 5 minutes and we'll start our descent prep. Do. Oh man, I often get these bots on YouTube that post horrible links to crap websites. Don't click on them. Do another VATSIM check. Wishful thinking. Waiting for ATC to light up, but no, we got nothing still. I don't know, friends, we may not get ATC again until we get to Vietnam or Hong Kong. And how long is that from now? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, about 6 more flights, I'd say. Looking on Twitch. Has my placement gotten better? Yes, I'm still the top single viewer stream. Hell yeah. I'll take it. Alright, let's look at our flight plans here. We're tracking. Alright, so we are 40 minutes away. So we can go ahead and start getting our act together here. Let's look at the latest METAR. Hasn't changed. We could wait 10 more minutes, but you know, let's at least get our approach programmed in. Because the winds probably aren't going to change dramatically, but we could always reprogram this if we need to. Yeah, we definitely want to do ILS 32 right. Absolutely. And we like the Lotgu 1 arrival. Oh, via. What via? Whatever's the straight in one. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking out of turn. What's our via? We may not have a via. Let's look at the charts. Star. That's the wrong one. We want a destination star. star! Lutgu 1. Tezem is luck. Not seeing any of that shit. I always get confused between via and transition. I think the transition is the beginning of the approach. So the transition is the end of the approach. Alright, let's look at the actual approach flight here. ILS 32. Oh, okay, I see. I see. There's the circle approach. And then there's the straight in. And the straight in is lock, and that's what we'll want. So the via is the end of the star. And no transition. Okay. So that's programmed in. Let's make sure that looks right. Go to plan. Bounce across Benki. Tosas, Mabro, Lutgu, Ugotu. Sarab is lock. And then Charlie Foxtrot, 32 right. Foxtrot, Foxtrot, 32 right. And then the yeah, that's great. That looks good. That is all set. So back to arc. Nice wide view. TOSAS, that's when we need to prepare for top of descent. Go back to performance. We'll close this up while we bookmark it. Let's bookmark the star. And yeah, at this point we'll just keep this minimized so we don't lose it. Taxi, airport. Let's give us good stand information. So general aviation, domestic, international. So we want to go to the international apron since we're coming from Australia. We'll land on this medium short runway, I guess. And let's see. See if there's any restrictions on taxiing for wide bodies. Alright, so I'm not seeing any taxiway restrictions. So we'll try to take Foxtrot, otherwise we'll take Alpha to the apron. Foxtrot to Alpha, and then into the international apron at Delta. That's what we'll plan for. Okay, get this down here out of the way, and we'll assume low braking. If it looks like it's raining, maybe we'll do maybe we'll adjust that. We shall see. Well, we can actually play around with that calculator now, actually, while we have a few minutes. So let's go to landing. Airport ICAO is Alpha Yankee, Papa Yankee. Let's get the latest METAR. Let's assume runway conditions are, well, let's call it medium. And let's look at that chart again. Get some information here. So runway slope, it looks there's a bit of a incline, but it's like 90 feet though. That's more than we're used to. But you know, I'll just give it a slope of 0, whatever. Runway length in meters is 2750. Approach speed in knots. That hasn't been programmed yet, but let's go ahead and put in 130 knots just as a placeholder. It's probably in the ballpark. Actually, let's do 140. It'd be a bit more conservative. Lead off a bit more speed. QNH, that's all from the METAR. Runway altitude. On average, let's call it 150. Do full flaps. Runway heading is 322 degrees. Overweight, no. Reverse thrust, yes. Flaps full, 100%. And calculate. So low gets us to the threshold there, 2685. It is enough. It is definitely enough. Let's see, how bad does it have to be for it to be not enough? Okay, so if it looks like the thunderstorms have rolled in, I mean, even medium doesn't really get us there. But we can't do max manual on landing, really. It's really not advised. So we'll do, if it looks bad, we'll do medium braking, and we'll take over manual braking control if we need to. But I find this calculator is pretty conservative, so I'm not terribly worried about the weather. Alright, cool. So we're about 90 miles from top of descent. And once we get a bit past the hour, a bit past 4 Zulu, we'll see if we have a new METAR information, see if we have updated information on the thunderstorms that might be rolling in. And then we'll program the rest of the box for our descent. So we have another few minutes just to chill out. Take another look at VATSIM, because I'm addicted. I think it's because we had such great ATC coverage over the last few flights, I just kind of got accustomed to having other pilots in my ear for the entire flight. It's really nice. But I don't see any New Guinea controllers online right now. The closest controller we have is up in Guam. And of course, Sydney Tower, Melbourne Center, Melbourne Tower, they're all online. You might be asking, why don't I just fly between locations that have ATC coverage when I fly in VATSIM? Well, I'm committed to this around the world thing. We are 32 flights in. We're going to finish it. I swear to God. How are you guys doing out there in Twitch and YouTube land? Anything you want to know about the flights, about the A320neo, about the fly-by-wire mod? This is meant to be a tutorial series as much as it's a flight sim enthusiast series. So happy to explain anything. Taking a look outside. As we're still looking at the underbelly, I was marveling at this livery before. There we go. Good old Jetstar 9084. Yeah, so Australia is nowhere to be seen. Just nothing but open ocean in all directions. Moderate cloud cover. Why does it sound like the engine's just rolling up? Alright, somehow we got under speed. Interesting. So we have a light tailwind of about 7 or 8 knots. Pushing us, making our ground speed just a touch higher than our true airspeed. Well, that was pretty strange. Alright, so it's past 4 Zulu. Keep an eye on that METAR for it to update. Get the latest weather in. Usually takes like 5 minutes after the hour, I find. I bet you it's more real time in the real world, but probably takes time to propagate to the sim. In fact, we could look up the actual real world METAR at Alpha Yankee Papa Yankee. So let's see. Probably get their ATIS too, actually. So let's see, what is the latest here? Okay, so 3 Zulu is still the latest that they have. Let's see if we can get their ATIS. I just seem to be able to get their METAR. Yeah, we don't have an updated METAR yet. Yep, 3 Zulu was the latest. Oh, it might be available. Oh no, not yet. Not yet, read that wrong. Just reading the TAF here. Yeah, light showers and rain still expected. A 30% chance of strong thunderstorms. Okay. Yep, 3 Zulu is still the latest. We'll give it till 10 past. If we still don't have new METAR information, we'll go ahead and put in the old one. We always wait until the box shouts at us, and it's not shouting at us yet. Oh, yeah. The suspense before top of descent, man. Ooh, what coffee is this? Toby's Estate. Not familiar with it. I'm curious. Australia has some awesome coffee. Awesome, awesome. Alright, what is the expected top of descent here on the plan? So, right after Tosas. Here's your destination data, so now it's shouting at us. We don't have the latest METAR yet, man. Come on. Give me more data. Alright, we'll just wait till top of descent. We'll have time. Still plenty of time. Getting more garbage links on YouTube. Thank you, guys. I'm going to report you. No dirty links on my page. Alright, getting close. We got about 10 miles. Top of descent. It's getting exciting, guys. It's getting exciting. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. 7.5 miles. 5 miles. It's coming. Two and a half. Here it comes. And down we go. Thrust idle, open descent. Engines are spooling back. And vertical descent increasing. And we still don't have the latest weather.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for a ride.
So I think at this point, if we don't have the latest METAR for 4 Zulu, we'll just make do with the 3 Zulu report. And so to facilitate that, we will do a weather request through the box. And we'll just get it for our destination. And send. Sent. Okay, and then we'll just wait for the company message to display on the eCam, and then we'll print it out and get the data in. Still can't see Papua New Guinea. It's out there. Message, just do one last check to see if we have latest data. No. Okay. So receive messages, METAR, that matches what we've seen before, so we'll go ahead and print that. Alright. Yeah, you can't see any of it because of the glare. Alright, going to performance, going to the approach, QNH 1007. Temperature 33 degrees. Winds 260 at 12. Transition altitude, of that here. Will be on this chart. 210. Wow, quite high. And let's look at the minimums. So for ILS straight in landing, we're looking at 322 on the radio. Alright, that's all set. So 1007 QNH, and since we're clearing ourselves beneath transition, we'll go ahead and get that in the box. 1007, is that right? Yes. Down we go. I find it really annoying. I feel like I'm waiting for a taxi that's showing up late. I want the latest. Should come out every hour, man. Especially when rain's in the area. Alright, now that we have the arrival information in, what's our latest arrival? So, okay, around 4:30 UTC still. Not too bad. And our next stop after Mavro is the start of the start. $20,000 feet. Just gotta have faith that the island is out there somewhere. that it will come into view, that your instruments aren't lying to you. Probably a good time to brief the missed departure. So misapproach, misapproach, climb on 322 degrees, dead reckoning track to 2500 before a left turn to Tesm. Continue to climb, cross Tesm at 4000, which is instructed by ATC. So we'll set the altimeter to 4000. Dead reckoning. Why do I know that word? Process of calculating current position of some moving object by using a previously determined position or fix, and then incorporating estimates of speed, heading, direction, and course over elapsed time. Left turn to Tesm. Okay. Alright, so let's get the information in the box as we're continuing our descent. So, the rad nav. We want to get Port Moresby VOR in there. Don't see another ADF, but we will want Tesm as a fix. So, we no longer need the descent fix, so we'll clear that out with Tesm. And alright, so cross Tesm 4000 or instructed by ATC, and there is a hold point at Tesm. That's fine. So what we'll do is just track 322 degrees out, and then 142 back. That waypoint should be good enough. I don't think we'll miss the approach. I think we'll be fine. But good to have that in there. And we'll just turn the VOR on. And we're already getting signal. Fantastic. And there is our star waypoint, the first one. About 35 miles away, and that's when we should get to 6,000 feet. Check that weather one last time. Will it be one last time? It would be if it was updated. It's not. So I guess we're landing with this data. Hopefully that just means that the conditions haven't changed significantly. Alright, so with that, we'll do the approach checklist. Briefing is confirmed, ECAM status is checked. Well, you know what, no, let's save this for below 10,000 feet. Get seatbelt signs on in the meantime. Go ahead and get those landing lights on. Alright, leveling out so we could slow down. Double check if there weren't any speed restrictions. I didn't see any, just the standard max 250 knots below 10,000, so that's fine. And this approach looks pretty standard too, 3-degree descent angle. We want to be at 4,000 by Islock, and then 2,000 to intercept the glide slope. Alright, so we'll descend to 4,000 after we go to. Alright. Below 10,000 feet, approach checklist. Briefing is confirmed. ECAM status is checked. Landing distance is confirmed. Seatbelts are on. Bow RF is set. Minimums are set. And engine mode is selected normal. Approach checklist complete. Tracking 62 miles from the airport. Yeah, we got the latest weather for Townsville, but not for Port Moresby. Getting close to those clouds. And it looks like we'll be getting to our selected altitude right on time. We got the waypoint in 3 minutes, and we probably need another 2, or 1 rather, 1 more minute to get to that altitude. Dress this up a little bit. Cut off my head. There we go. The water looks so real with those kind of like streaks and different tones in it. It's pretty awesome. Alright, that's 6,000 feet, alt star. 54 miles to go. Gotta watch out for those cumulonimbus clouds if we come across any. Oh, we're gonna arrive early. That's nice. Oh, we started engines right on the hour, so we departed right on time. How awesome is that? Gotta celebrate those wins. Alright, you see some land out there in the distance with the clouds. Begin our initial turn. Enjoying those beautiful cloud effects. The shimmering light on the water. Oh, very cool. Very cool. And we'll be on the ground within the next 10 minutes. Papua New Guinea right there. And once we cross go-to, then we'll go down to 4,000. Let's talk about, we're going to activate our approach. So from Islock, we are about 13 miles from the ILS. So we'll probably want to be, we'll probably want to start configuring before then. So what I'll do, I think once we get down to 4,000, we'll get into approach mode. We'll want to be at least flaps 1 by the time we get to Islock. I've been very conservative with my configuration settings. I've been coming in probably slower than I need to, and I think that messed ATC up a little bit when I came into Brisbane a few flights ago, where the plane behind me had to do a go around. I mean, the controller could have asked me to maintain a certain speed or have instructed the plane behind me to slow down, but regardless, I may have just gotten in a bit too slow and caused that poor guy to have to do a go around. But good practice for him. Not too upset about that. Alright, 10 miles to a go-to. Got 2 minutes before we descend again. And we still don't have updated weather. So there's rain in the area, but we're operating on METAR information that's about an hour and a half old. Yeah, so the computed descent mode is at Islock, but we'll activate it somewhere in between. Get 4,000 feet into the FMC. And we're just waiting until it got to, because I believe this is representing the posted minimum altitude. Does look like that's weather ahead of us, doesn't it? Alright, let's get down. Thrust idle open descent. Just refresh, so once we're at 4,000, Islock will go down to 2,000. Speed Alt Star. Alright, we'll get our landing system on. Getting ILS data. Turning towards Islock. Alright, within 20 miles, let's go ahead and activate that approach phase. We're going to start decelerating towards green dot speed. Alright, speed checked, flaps 1. Alright, airport and runway in sight. Look at that. Alright, down to 2,000. Speed checked, flaps 2. We'll activate the approach. Speed, glide slope star, loc star. Loc. Glide slope. Cat 3 dual. Gear down. Port Moresby traffic, Jetstar 9084 on 10-mile final, ILS runway 32 right, Port Moresby traffic. Alright. Speed checked, flaps 3. I think we beat the thunderstorms. That's good news. Still don't have updated METAR. It's nuts. There it is, finally. There it is. Everything's pretty much the same. Just more of a crosswind now to deal with. Fantastic. And maybe some haze. Not really seeing the haze though.
$2,500.
Radio altimeter is alive. Let's get the, I think the missed approach climb altitude, what was it? 4,000? So let's just get that in the box. So that's ready to go in case things go horribly wrong in the next few minutes. So we have more of a headwind at this point. I expect this to turn more into a crosswind as we get lower and as we get closer.
Disconnected from network. VATSIM is having an issue right now. Connected. Okay. Alright. Back to the landing thing that we're doing. Okay, so cabin check. Spoilers armed.
Please prepare for landing.
Speed check, flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin crews advised. Auto throttles and speed. Auto brake is on low. ECAM memo landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Alright, that crosswind component is coming in. And you can see we're starting to crab a little to the left, right? We're starting to turn a little bit into the wind to keep us straight on that runway path.
1,000.
1,000. Autopilot coming off. We are flying manual. Descent rate looks good. About 700 feet per minute. Gets you pretty much on 3-degree glide slope. We have those pink diamonds. We're losing localizer to the left a bit. As that crosswind gets more apparent, we're now below the glide slope, so let's just adjust. Why is it stuttering on me? That's scary. That is scary. Oh, stop stuttering. Please stop stuttering. My frame rates are good, but I don't know why I'm getting the stuff. Stay on that center line. Continue.
200.
Little high. We're a little high.
100. Retard.
Oh, these stutters are killing me.
5.
Reverse green, decel. This was terrible. $70 knots. Rolling out. You're a little too fast, so we'll go to the end of the runway. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lawman. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I mean, I didn't deserve it for that landing, but I really appreciate the support regardless. Well, welcome to Port Moresby, everybody. Don't know what the deal was with those stutters. That was frustrating. And it looks like my stream bit rate crashed as well, so I wonder if I just something with my internet connection, maybe? Let's slow down here. See, my connection went unstable on Twitch, it looks like. But we are still streaming. Alright, we'll stop here. Port Moresby traffic, Jetstar 9084 is clear of runway 32 right, Port Moresby traffic. Alright, let's clean this baby up. Let's get flaps up, spoilers disarmed. Let's get that APU rolling. 1, 2, 3. Get those landing lights off. Get that to taxi, get our weather system off. Put the wind shear system off. ATC to standby, TCAS to standby, sorry, ATC to auto, TCAS to standby. And after landing checklist, flaps retracted, spoilers disarmed, APU is on, radar is off, predictive wind shear system is off. We're going to do 2 engine taxi, and after landing checklist is complete. Alright. So we are on taxiway Alpha. We'll round to Alpha. We'll turn at Charlie to the international apron. So Alpha to Charlie. Alpha Charlie. So this is a procedurally generated airport. This is not a handcrafted airport. This is not downloaded scenery. But, you know, it doesn't look terrible. It does not look terrible. I've definitely seen worse. And the landscape looks super cool. Just really frustrating. I'm very curious what happened. I'm sure my internet connection was the issue. Between vPilot and the stutters in the sim, and Twitch kind of freaking out, must have been the connection. So apologies. Apologies, everyone. This is Charlie. So this is our turn. That's the international apron to our right. It looks like that last stand has services, so we'll take that last stand. And it'll be this next one to our right. Want to slow up, we'll get these lights off so as not to blind anyone. Looks like this is stand 3. I'm actually really impressed, because normally, with the procedurally generated airports, you don't even get stand numbers. So we'll check against the chart to see if that's actually accurate. Alright, we'll use rudder for the remainder. My thrustmaster is messing with me here. It would have been much straighter if I didn't have that issue just then. Alright, alright, tell me when to stop, bro. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. Alright. Parking brake engaged. APU is available, engine 1, engine 2 coming off, seatbelt signs coming off. Welcome to Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. We have made it. Everyone in our Jetstar 9084, how lovely is that? Looks like a gorgeous day in Papua New Guinea. Let's go ahead and get the jetway connected there. Call for power, call for baggage. Here they come. And we'll get these folks deplaned. Alright, we'll clear these charts. Well, actually, let's check the stand numbers. See if that's actually accurate. So that'll be in the... Probably another chart with parking stands there. There we go. So the international apron. Could be. It might be close. 3, 4. Didn't quite get it. I mean, that looks like it should be 1 based on where its location, and we should be in 2. But you know what? I will give them an A for effort. I'll say that is close enough. Yeah, I mean, I usually never see numbers on the stands, so definitely close enough. That must be what they think is 2, but that definitely was not drawn properly. Alright, anyway, we are back in the cockpit. Let's do our parking checklist. So we didn't use the yellow electric pump, so that's already off. APU bleed is... oh, it's off. It should have been on. That's fine. When we shut the engines down. No problem. Engines are off, seatbelt sign is off, exterior lights are off, beacon can come off, strobe can go to auto. Actually go to off at this point. We'll keep the nav and logo lights on for now. And fuel pumps are coming off. Parking brake is on. Heavy parking checklist is complete. So let's go ahead and assume... oh, we never turned off external power when we left. That's annoying. Alright, so external power is already on. We can go ahead and shut down that APU. And we'll start cleaning up the aircraft. Get these screens off. Get the VOR turned off. There we go. Integrated lighting. This is all intended just to save the life of the integrated lighting. Lower the brightness, the lower the wear and tear, the cheaper it is for the airline. And we are a low-cost airline today, flying Jetstar. About an hour and 45 engine time, which seems pretty much on the money. What else? What else? Get the radios off. Integrated lights. Shut down ATC, altitude reporting, resets, trim, unlock the doors so we can get out of here. Parking brake is on. And get these integrated lights off. And let's do our securing the aircraft checklist. Brake temperature is... well, we can't check it, we shut it down already, but the brake temperature is fine. IRSs are off. No, they're not. Get the IRSs off. Also get crew supply off. APU bleed is off. Emergency exit lights are off. Signs, no smoking signs are off. APU and battery are off. Batteries are coming off now. And its aircraft is secure. So the last thing to do now is just to shut down external power, and cold and dark we are. So that's it. Well done, everyone. We are at Moresby Airport in Papua New Guinea. Next time, we will be heading to Indonesia. We're flying to Moses Kelangan in Timika. Our next destination. It'll be a bit of a longer flight than tonight, but not by much. and we'll get to enjoy some island scenery in Southeast Asia. Thanks for joining us tonight. That was a lot of fun. Landing could have been better. I'm going to blame the stuttering and the network issues that happened right when we were landing, but hopefully it wasn't too bad. Yeah, appreciate the support on the channel. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the chat. And looking forward to seeing you guys on our next stream. I have been Mike November Whiskey. Have a good night and safe travels to wherever you're off to next.